Leimomi Keliikuli intuitive soul alignment coach here, and I wanted to make a video for you to really share more insights and share about really how to monetize your gifts and to bring in more abundance. So if you're just listening in, just say hello just so that I know that you're listening. And so today's topic is I want to talk about why you may be flying and in this flow but still really not monetizing your gifts and making 10 times more abundance than what you know that you actually deserve, and then the steps to really get further into alignment even when you feel like you're actually really doing well. So most of the time when people come to me, they're either super misaligned, or they're in this catch-22 where they want to invest in themselves, but then they don't have the time. They have the time, and but they may not have the money, right? Or they do have the money, but then they don't have the time to do exactly what they've been dreaming of doing. So, hi Mariana. So let me introduce myself. I am Leimomi Keliikuli. I'm intuitive soul alignment coach, and I basically help people to get into further in alignment with what their soul is meant to do and to serve in the world. And I clear any of those negative blocks, invisible blocks, soul level blocks that may be restricting them from stepping completely forward into their soul line leadership. So in short, I can basically find out what exactly is the misalignment that you are experiencing, and at any level too, not just only because you're super blocked and you're not moving forward, but really actually even go further beyond that. So today's topic would be more about that. So, which is well, how can you create 10 So I want to talk about how you can create 10 times more abundance actually by doing a few of these steps to get further into alignment. So usually we think, okay, we're doing really well, so we don't need to maybe do anything further, maybe just keep going and keep doing what you're doing, right? But actually there is a secret behind doing this even further than what you are meant to do. So there is actually a little bit of a method as to how you can do this. So I kind of want to explain a bit so that you can actually see where you are and what you actually need to do in order to make these changes, right? So when I work with somebody, I usually can tell very instantly, if I look in your Akashic records, I can pretty much tell where you are either in alignment, or you're not. Because the secret is actually knowing your soul's blueprints. When you know what you are at soul level, then every bits and pieces of what you are at soul level, when you take action towards it, this is how you're going to bring even further abundance than what you're experiencing right now, okay? Because I'm telling you, if you really have the best life, even if you have a good relationship, and you really actually have to up-level all 10 of your life areas in your business and your career, right? Your personal relationships, your family and friends, your spiritual development, personal development, all of these parts of our life areas needs to be completely abundant. Then you can say, okay, I'm in complete flow. But if you're looking at all these different parts of your life areas and maybe one or two is good, and but you're working on the others, we are meant to have that much more abundance, 10 times more abundance, money, being known in their industry, being known as expert in what you do, to, being really leading lots and lots of people, right? We are meant to be completely 100% in alignment and abundance. So when you think about it, it never ends. Right? We can ultimately keep having it on, up-leveling all these parts of ourselves, but you first need to actually understand what level are you at now. So one of the first things, of course, if you know that you're not in alignment, obviously you're going to be in a catch-22. You're not able to, do more than what you're capable. For example, you're only paying your bills, right? Then obviously there's something that you are not allowing yourself to break through. And a lot of that has a lot to do with ego sabotage. You know, you're working really hard, but you're kind of spinning your wheels in the process, so then you end up like getting so tired and depleted with no strategy. Okay, so if you're at that level, then obviously you need to be really, really honest with yourself, which is maybe you don't know your gifts. Maybe you actually need to really discover what your gifts are. And so this is why knowing your 3 main gifts are very important, because it will tell you what is your main gift, which one is the most abundant for you, and what's your natural personality, which I can look up by knowing what your soul group is. But you absolutely don't understand this until you start aligning to it. So this is why you, at that level, right, you have to, once you awaken to your gifts and you got your blueprints and you have discovered it, then you have to kind of like work towards up-leveling all parts of your life by actually taking action towards the way that your soul's energy is. So, like for example, right, if your energy of your soul is self-expression, then obviously everything that you are speaking about confidence and visibility and you know, words have amazing substance to you. Are you fully monetizing from your self-expression gift, right? If your energy is love, are you really creating healing and love and connection and helping people become aware of their soul? And, you know, is it heart-centered, right? So every one of our gifts, if we are aligning to those specific parts of our gifts, especially the main one, you're ultimately going to experience more and more manifestations and creations in abundance, right? Because I believe that manifestation does not happen to us. We create it. We either get further in alignment to something and then it's created, right? Nothing is always free. It's just you have either created it or not. So why not be consciously creating 10 times more abundance, right? And then the effect would be so much more amazing. So, you know, we hear lots of stories about people manifesting like 10K or manifesting a car or manifesting a house and all this kind of stuff. There is a lot more to it than just it instantly coming to you. Obviously, you can do mindset work. You can, you know, work on those kind of things in the background. But wouldn't it be better if you already had that idea that I'm going to get that house, it's going to cost me, you know, $500,000 or $700,000, and you consciously, right, like started to make enough money where you can put the down payment to where you pay the mortgage regularly, or you may even have that $700,000 like in your pocket suddenly, right? Why is it suddenly there? Because you actually work towards it. So life is exactly what we work towards, okay? So this is the one thing where people are stuck, is inaction. And this is why the abundance doesn't flow and you're not monetizing, because you're just expecting and waiting for this thing to happen to you, and it never ever creates 10 times abundance, okay? And by the way, that also is why if you're not really aligning to your second or your third gift, I mean, if you're aligning to your second and your third gift, it makes it harder for you to create the abundance because you're working against yourself, right? When your main gift, your first main gift is the most important thing, and that's what brings in the most abundance for you. Because what I have found is when you're aligned to your third gift, you work 10 times harder. When you align to your second gift, you work 5 times harder. When you work towards your first gift, it's effortless. So the more you're working towards your main gift, meaning you're aligning to it because your soul is energy, so you're taking aligned action, and I call that smart aligned action, right? Soul aligned action towards it. Then there you go. You got the manifestation. You're in constant conscious creation, and you're expanding your abilities even further, right? So if you really want to monetize your gifts, you actually have to take action towards it, not kind of wait for a thing to just drop in your lap, because then you're not empowered. You actually become more disempowered by not consciously creating. So this is kind of what's happening in the spiritual world. It's like we just wait. Yeah, let's see what manifests. But if you really want to make 10 times more abundance, maybe you can get to like 10K, 20K months or something like that by not actually, working for it, right? Just waiting for people to come. But if you want to make 10 times more abundance, I mean, like instead of making 10K, you're making 100K, you're going to have to be much more strategic about it, okay? So if you are at that level where you are in that flow, you are monetizing and you feel like you're just flying, right? But you're still not making this 10-time abundance that you know that you deserve, right? It's because you're not taking steps, strategic steps towards your soul alignment. So then you gotta ask yourself, what is my soul alignment, right? What is it that is in my soul? So this is why your blueprints, your soul's blueprints is so important, because when I go look in your Akashic records and I go find out what's the missing pieces, you'll be able to take conscious aligned action towards those missing pieces, which will allow you to bring in further abundance because you created that 10 times abundance. Okay, so first you just need to know, like, you're most likely not creating it because usually you're going against your design, and some souls are designed to be more online or offline. That's just the truth, so that's probably one of the biggest blocks, is that you're not doing the way your soul is designed to do it. So if you're trying to do something that's more online, but your soul is more meant to be offline, then you're going to end up with maybe two times or 5 times the growth. But when you align and you're meant to be like online rather than offline, right? Vice versa, right? Most likely you're going to make 10 times more abundance because you're doing it in alignment to the way your soul wants to show up. So there's a bunch of key factors as to why that's not happening, and a lot of that is because you're not strategically automating the part of your online or your offline business according to the way your soul is designed. This is one of the number one calls that I see why people don't make their 10 times abundance, is because they're going against the way that their soul is designed this way, right? Then the second reason, and the second step also that you have to know, is that in order for you to do what you're designed, you have to actually automate the part that you're not really designed to do. Maybe you have to outsource, maybe you have to set up all these systems and structures so that you're still leveraging from it, right? Where you're getting that passive income, but you're spending most of your time to where your soul is designed to be. So this is where the strategy comes in, right? You actually need to be spending more time on the level of where your clients need you the most. Because you might be spending too much time. Let's say you have like 3 levels of work that you do for people. If you're spending too much time maybe on the first level, you're never ever going to get to the 3rd level of helping those people who are much more, capable of taking action or doing what they're meant to do, right? You really have to see at what level are your people. Are they, and who you want to serve. Are you going to serve the very beginners? Are you going to serve the middle range people? Or are you going to serve the much more high-end people? Because each of them has different maintenance, right, of how you help them. So that's usually what you're doing, is you're wasting time, money, and your energy on the things that could be automated. And then when you stop doing that, you actually get in further alignment than what you're doing right now, because you're not working against yourself. And this is, I think, another big cause as to why you're not creating 10 times the abundance, because you're working, number one, against your soul, and you are spending too much time and energy on the places where that can be totally automated for you. Then the third step really is like, you have to master yourself, meaning you have to master your abilities to use your psychic abilities, to use your manifestation abilities in a much more productive way. And usually what's happening is using those expansive part of your soul, but you're using it that's not your design. Like, for example, your soul is meant to be a speaker type of soul, but then you're doing massage all day, which you don't even talk, right? So we think that our gifts or our tools, right, is going to solve that issue as to why you're not making that income or that money. But actually, you're probably doing the thing that you're really not meant to design to do. So then you end up like becoming disempowered, and you become in this catch-22, or you run out of time to be able to serve your people. So where is it? Are you spending too much time on the things that you're not supposed to be doing, that your soul is not designed to do, right? Are you spending more of that energy, right, to the people that are very draining for you? And how can you automate it enough so that you're spending most of your attention on the critical points of where people actually may not continue with you? Because to get over that hump, that's where actually your presence should be, more than the other parts that you think you got to do passive income or you got to do the high-end income. Like, there is this critical point that your clientele are really going to need more help in, and that's going to bring in more revenue, more people. Because even if you have volume, if you're not giving good customer care, you're going to lose thousands of people, right? Because the care that you give to people is so important on their journey. So if you're missing that part, the important parts of their journey, you're losing probably thousands of people when you get to that point, of course, right? You're losing your audience. So look at where are you, what are you doing to really address these problems? Because then that loopholes, right, is where you're going to find the right place to be able to sell your stuff, where you're going to create much more income, right, by that kind of strategy. So your income and your abilities, your psychic abilities, they both need to be equal, right? So if you're using a lot of your psychic abilities or your superpower, okay, I'll just use superpower, right? Your manifestation skills, and you're focusing on that, on top of, getting the best bang for your buck, right? Your time, your money, your effort equally, then you have the ability to grow 10 times more. Does it make sense? So you have to be really, really clear on what parts needs to get automated, what parts needs to become passive for you, and which parts needs to be where all of your attention needs to be to help your client and your audience to go over that hump. And are you even mastering your soul and your psychic abilities and your manifestations? Are you spending time there? Because usually, if you're not feeling fully in alignment, those are those three reasons, right? Time, money, and your effort and your value that you give people are going down the drain. And in the end, if you keep running in that direction and you're not really taking care of your people, I mean your audience when I say people, if you're not really taking care of them, they don't continue to work with you, and they don't continue to further align to their path, and you also, because it needs to be an equal exchange. And this, I think, is what's happening in the online world, is people are charging big amount of money but not really fully giving the value, or they're giving amazing value but they're charging like pennies for what they're actually are doing for people. So the price point, of course, is important, but also the care, the love, the connection is what keeps people following you. So where are you not being completely in this gift, in your gift of that love and connection? Because love and connection is what brings money, what brings all level of abundance, right? Of who you're meant to work with and how you're going to become an industry leader in what you do. If you are not really engaging in this way, then you're not going to make more than 10K months. It's just not possible. If you want to make 100K or more months, this takes some strategy, because you need to be able to leverage constantly and growing step by step in your business, in your life, and in what your clients get the results from you. So I hope that enlightened you. I just had this discovery inside, so I had to just, share this with my audience. But the 10 times abundance really takes conscious creation. And this is, of course, you can make $1 million 1 year, but make nothing for like 2 years, right? Because you have to consciously create that 100K months or more, right? To get to 6 to 7 figures or multiple figures. It does take some strategy, but it also takes a lot of love and connection in how you show up in your business and in your life and for your audience, and really, really caring for people. You can care, but you also don't want to enable. And a lot of people are enabling other people, and it's actually very disempowering, and it goes the same way with manifestations too. The more we manifest, right, the more we receive, the more we also need to give, and vice versa. What we exhale and what we inhale, right, needs to be equal. How much expenses we use, right, how much income we receive, it has to be equal. It has to be this balance and this love and connection, because without that, everything is just going to crumble before your eyes. So this is where I want you to go in your self-reflection. Where am I not fully showing up, not only for my soul, but for my audience and for the future? Because we tend to just run. And if you keep running without any real direction and very smart strategic, action in this way, it's going to create more and more and more problems. So this is why I created my Soul Line Manifestation Method program, which teaches you exactly how to manifest, but doing it from alignment from directly your heart and your soul. Because the way that we are manifesting, we're doing it a lot in our head, which never ever creates constant abundance. When you create from the heart, it not only feels good for you, but it feels really in alignment for everybody else that is affected by it. So with the program, I'm going to start next month, very soon. So if you're really interested in knowing how, what your blueprints are, what your 3 main gifts are, I can look up your full 3-hour recording I'll make for you about what your blueprints are, so you can discover what your gifts are. I can also clear any of that noise with the shell and aligning to your money goals, and then when you start to take action, right, towards what you are at soul level, this is where I'll teach you that with the Soul Line Manifestation Method, to help you to learn how to be in this full alignment, in this conscious creation, because you're taking actions towards what your soul is designed to do. And so when you get the blueprints, this is how I can tell you, are you meant to be online or offline? What parts you might want to automate more instead of, working really hard. And then also you'll get a glimpse of what maybe using your psychic abilities and manifestation abilities of how to start this alignment. And even though you're really good at manifestation and using your psychic abilities, this is also a very good program, because it's going to enhance your ability to be in this conscious creation. And then you've got your blueprints to kind of like use it, for your lifetime, because it's going to tell you what to align to, your main gift instead of your second and your third gift. So if you want to know more about that, and also you just want to get a little snippet of what your gifts might be, I've created this quiz, the Divine Business Gifts quiz, and that will tell you a little bit of your type. But if you really want to know directly what yours is, then me going to Akashic Records to do that for you is the best option. So you can go to my website at www.LeimomiKeliikuli.com, and on there I share more, about the things of how you can work with me, and then how you can also learn all these different tools of how to stay in alignment and be in alignment, and then really mastering your soul's gifts. So yeah, if you really want to know more, just reach out to me. You can PM message me, or just share about what's going on with you, and maybe I can also help you to figure out, well, what's misaligned, because that's one of my greatest gifts is like, if you tell me what's going on, I can probably get a feel by actually also looking in your Akashic records, where you are in misalignment and what's missing. All right, so you guys have a beautiful day. Aloha.